Greetings and welcome to RTL Studio One. In our previous sessions, we've been talking about why forming foundations at the beginning of the school year is very important. Today, we'll be concluding this session and let's quickly reflect on what we have already done. We've talked about Maslow before Bloom's. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, when the students feel heard, respected, and valued, they definitely reach the stage of self-actualization where they are they grow as confident individuals and become responsible as well. Then we also talked about Carroll's growth mindset theory, which says that um, a person's intelligence and abilities are not just innate, they can be refined through consistent practice and the required knowledge and skills. So, if we have a growth mindset and we inculcate that in our students as well, they learn to take failure as an opportunity to grow and they take challenges as an opportunity to grow. Whereas in fixed mindset, it's the other way around. They get frustrated and then they are unable to deal with anything that comes to their hand. So today we are going to look into some tips, some practical tips, tried and tested tips from my experience, from teachers around me, and from other educationists. These are very simple tips. If you apply them, you will definitely have a stronger connection with your students and definitely a strong start of the year. Connection before education, we've already talked about that, and connection before correction is extremely important because your correction will not make a difference until you develop that connection. That's all about growth mindset and Maslow's theory. Classroom preparation, the physical environment. How are you going to ensure that the seating arrangement is comfortable for the children, the lighting in the classroom, the board displays, and everything else that comes into classroom preparation? You need to be mindful of that. Then creating a print rich environment. Not only that everything is labeled, all the displays that are in the classroom are not just meaningful, they are also relevant to your vision. They are readable by the children. The font is readable by the children. Thoughtful lesson planning. Ensure that you screen through the files of the children. If it is a progressive school year, or meet the previous teacher of the child, so that you get to know about the children and then plan the lesson keeping the needs of the children in your mind. Make sure it is engaging and it is student centered, not teacher centered. Resource preparation, all your resources must be ready. You should not be rushing here and there during the lesson because that causes a lot of time lapse in between. And that tells the children that the teacher is not prepared. They also adapt the same habits. Strategies to uplift students' confidence and conversation skills. What are you going to focus on? Will you give them opportunities to speak and present? Will you give them opportunities to participate in different events? What about their conversation skills? Are you going to bring in some conversation starters so that the children get to talk to each other? They learn how to share their perspective and respect the perspectives of others as well. Display of quotes that resonate with your vision. So, what vision are you setting for your school year and for your students? Bring a quote and put it in the classroom so that that visual quote keeps them on track, and then it becomes a shared vision. Also talk to the children about it. Setting up of reading corner, this inculcates not just the love for reading but also develops the habit of sharing. Tell the children to bring in books on day one. You can also keep some books from your side and then ask the children also to bring in some books to place in the classroom, which they are not reading anymore. That and once they've finished their work, they can go to the reading corner and read. This can also serve as a timeout for them if there are any tantrums or anything that goes wrong. Then think about the ice breaking activities and the purpose behind them. Are these going to be just getting to know, or will there be a connection developing something? Or is it going to be a general chit chat and a conversation? Or is that conversation going to be meaningful? So think about the ice breaking activities that you're going to bring in your classroom. What routines and norms will you establish? sit down with the students and decide upon the norms that they will be following. What will be the consequences of those norms if they're not followed? How will you celebrate as a class if the norms are followed? So, if the children put down all of these themselves, they take ownership and responsibility, and then they follow the norms without reminders. And that's what we tend to do. What routines are you going to establish in your classroom? Are you going to keep on shouting to ask them to line up? Are you going to keep on repeating the instructions over and over again? Or will there be some positive cues that will be used so that the children understand that this is what is meant? Um, um, is your class going to be more chaotic, or the children will have a sense of responsibility in them, and they will take the ownership of whatever they're doing? So, will they be engaged meaningfully, mentally engaged, physically engaged, or will they be distracted in the classroom? So, there can be a clapping pattern, there can be, in charges assigned, there can be body gestures that can be used. So, think about different classroom routines that you will follow. Class mission statement, begin with the end in mind. That's very important. So at the beginning of the school year, engage the children in thinking about the mission statements that they are going to, their own mission statements. What mission statements are they going to follow? Are they going to, they can set their targets. I'm going to be a better reader this year. I'm going to improve my handwriting. I'm going to be kinder this year. I'll become a little more responsible and pack my bag myself. So, with all these smaller mission statements that they set for themselves, you can draft a class mission statement and put it up in the classroom loud and clear for everybody to see and refer to. Classroom roles and responsibilities, again, very important. You can assign roles to the students and then tell them that this is your responsibility. There can be line in charges, there can be resource in charges, there can be board in charges, there can be cleanliness in charges. You can think of anything and then assign that role to the students. Whiteboard distributors, there can be a lot of roles that you can assign them. You can put down these roles on a chart, laminate it, and then can wipe erase the names once you think of changing the roles and giving these responsibility to somebody else. So there can be a lot of things that you can do. These are just a few things to start with. With this, we come to the end of our session on forming foundations. I'll see you again in the next session on lesson planning. So thank you very much for being here.